Wednesday night in Kenwood, Sophia Romine's banger in the 59th minute gave Detroit City a 1-0 lead. They would rely on their defense and the goaltending of Allison LaPointe to give them the victory and first place over AFC Ann Arbor in the Great Lakes Division. The two teams clash today. Also, Miami comes up with an upset victory down at Pitbull Stadium against the Charleston Battery. The last time Detroit City was there, they came away with the victory. The two teams clash today as it's a Pride Night doubleheader at Keyworth Stadium on Soccer Night in Detroit.
Darren Smith in stoppage time, of course. Hannah Crum has a chance at it. Hannah Crum again chips it and into the back of the net. Hannah Crum, Fox in the box.
It's a Pride Night doubleheader at Keyworth. First, Miami FC takes on Detroit City FC. Then, a Great Lakes Division clash between Detroit City FC and AFC Ann Arbor.
All right, back at a hot, steamy Keyworth Stadium.
Yes, we could feel the heat here.
Oh, my God, yes. It's supposed to be 90 degrees for kickoff for the first match today.
I know.
And it's going to be 90 throughout the day.
Oh,
so if you are coming down here, hydrate, 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 hydrate.
I already did. Oh, not only that, you have to hydrate water. Guess what season it is today?
Oh, what season is that, my friend?
Yeah. I have called it for the last 4 years based on one of my favorite characters of one of the greatest shows ever. It's
30 Rock.
Liz Lemonade season, bitches!
Thank you, sir. Yes. In honor of Miss Tina Fey and her character,
yes.
Liz Lemon from
Cheers.
30 Rock.
Great series. That's the reason why the ECOT was invented.
Yes.
We had Jan Michael Vincent of Miami Vice, and who will take over Saturday. I have one Florida and Ryan maybe retire, who may retire. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the rain has come and gone.
Yes. For the
nice
day.
All day. It's going to be nice the rest of the day. It was not. Yes, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Needless to say, though, on Wednesday, though, when I was in Grand Rapids for that game against Midwest United, we did have a little spout with the rain.
Yeah, it came here there before it came here, and that's the reason why I was hunkered down in Hamtramck. I did keep track of both games. You know what I mean? Ann Arbor, us. Was a great, good positive result.
Oh yeah, positive results all the way around there. And and let me tell you this much: great place to tailgate, the Midwest United Soccer Complex. I had my spot right along the goal line, kind of similar to what I usually do here at Keyworth, in the media area. So I had the vantage point there. But yeah, great tailgate spot. I popped the tailgate open. I had my devices all hooked up and all that stuff.
And you kept cover from the rain?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Rain come down, I just come right back to the tailgate. Sit there for a few minutes, watch the game and all that stuff. But, I mean, if you are going to Midwest United in the future, absolute best tailgating area for soccer. And, you get a good view of the field. You get set up right behind the goal there.
And it's in Kenwood, Michigan, about south of Grand Rapids.
Right by Gerald Ford Airport there.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, great facility. Thanks to the people. Thanks to shout out to Tony's Catering. Best freaking burrito.
Oh.
Best freaking burrito I've had outside of Keyworth. And I'll tell you what.
Better than the Taco Bell?
Well, anything's better than Taco Bell. Come on now.
Well, let's get back on track to what happened on Wednesday.
Yes,
it
did turn out positive for Detroit City. 1-0 victory over Midwest United, coupled with the result over in Kalamazoo, the 1-1 draw between Kalamazoo FC and AFC Ann Arbor. You're looking at the standings right now. Detroit City up
2 points.
2 points on AFC Ann Arbor, 2.29 points per match compared to 2 points per match. Kalamazoo's still in the thick of things here.
They're not dead.
They're not dead yet. They're sitting at 10 points right now.
And don't look now. UNFC Milk Home may have an outstanding chance. Who knows?
I doubt it. I think Midwest United has one game left, and that's on Tuesday night against Kalamazoo FC. they're virtually basically done out of the race.
As
there,
well,
so.
Toledo Villa. Technically, they're still alive, but they're
They're just
almost
playing.
done, yeah.
They're just playing the schedule.
They're just running dead.
They're just playing the schedule out right
Okay.
now. So I mean, for the
All
most part,
We're playing out the string.
right now it's a 2-horse race.
Uh-huh.
Detroit City FC up in first, AFC Ann Arbor in second. AFC Ann Arbor dropped points in the last couple games to Kalamazoo in both occasions.
Wow.
So Dave and I talked about this on Wednesday night during the post-match interview. You know, the old cliche. The old cliche.
Okay.
Being the biggest thing, the fear in sports is a wounded animal.
Oh yeah.
This is a team that's going to be a wounded animal. And remember, they did pip us at Holloway Field the first game of the season.
At the start of the season, Cale Anderson had the goal for the first half, and then because of maybe the win, carried 2 goals in there, and the goaltender misjudged it, and we lost 2-1. And we've been in a deficit ever since.
And pretty much the only blip on the radar, other than the one banger that occurred over in Romeo a couple weeks back, that's been pretty much the only blemishes so far of one Allison Lapointe.
Oh, yeah. I saw the game on Wednesday, and she was on her toes, you know what I mean? And she got the tough days, you know, including that almost near scare. They thought it was a goal for Midwest United, but the ball went over the end line. It didn't count. It went in the goal, but didn't count because it went over out of bounds in the end line. The full ball.
Right. Kind of like a situation we had last year with Detroit City over in Tulsa,
I see.
In which the ball did not cross over the line, but however, the assistant referee said that he was, I don't know what position he had on that angle, but he did call it a goal kick at that point. So, but you know, let's just say, without VAR, those decisions are, you know, based on human error or human eyesight at that point.
And who knows with the new league, the Premier League, and the new TV contract, they may invest some in VAR. Who knows?
That's something that remains to be seen, and that's for a later date as far as that goes. But
yeah, a lot of the or European leagues have VAR. The Premier League, World Cup,
and even MLS does too.
Even MLS, and you have the Club World Cup if they're showing up.
Yeah. Exactly. I think we had more. I think we had more people in Loudon than one of the matches in the Club World Cup. I think they had more. I think they've had more people for like one of those Club World Cup matches than what we saw the other night when U.S. was taking on Saudi Arabia in Austin for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. I mean, for the most part, I don't think that. I don't. You know. It's summer. It's hard to get people out there, and especially with the prices that these people are charging for the FIFA's. I'm sure they're going for like $100 a ticket. Club of for the Club World Cup, the Copa America. I'm sure is the same thing.
I'll say one thing. I haven't been watching the Club World Cup. I know it's on TNT. I'm just busy watching YouTube and pulling up, and it's just like, it's on like. It doesn't have the same feel as the regular World Cup.
I've watched one game of the Club World Cup, and that was Manchester City's first match. I'll be watching again on Sunday night when they play.
It doesn't have the same feel as the regular World Cup.
The games, though, however, have been very competitive.
Oh yes,
as of late. In fact, Inter Miami won. Of course, that's been blowing up all the socials as of late. Messi scored
a free kick from Messi.
Yes, because of Messi's goal. That's been blowing up on the socials too. But let's go back to the women's match though. But as I said, the wounded animal theory. We talked about that a little bit there. AFC Ann Arbor. Beware of the wounded animal. Beware Detroit City.
Oh yeah.
Beware Detroit City right now. They are coming. They've been coming to form since that first match. Talk about wounded animals. They were a little bit of a wounded animal
themselves because
they lost to AFC Ann Arbor. Then they came back here, played Union FC Macomb,
and they drew.
And they drew in that one in a very competitive affair. And then then all of a sudden, they go off and win 5 straight games.
Oh yes.
And this side right now has, or actually, 5? No, because we're at game 8 right now. 6 straight games.
You're right.
So they've been on a tear as of late, and they've been looking good doing it.
And the player you were high on, who was scored last Wednesday, Sophie Remain. Oh my!
Yeah, big difference she has made to that lineup. And like I said, all she does is bangers.
Yes.
I'll say that again, except for the one against Indy 11 last year in the in the conference championship final.
Yes.
But I mean, for the most part, Sophia Romine, and of course the tenacity, the intensity, it's all there. It's all thanks to the coaching staff. Dave Guahy, Danny Evans. I mean, they bring that intensity, and
Sophie reminds sort of like a two-way Sydney Bloomquist. I know she's been my favorite player ever since the women's team was formed, by the way. But honestly, she's sort of like a two-way Cindy Bloomquist.
Very good defensively as well as offensively.
Oh yeah, yeah, and any girl could score. Kayla Anson could score from the bench. Hannah Crum, who I've been liking a lot, literally, you know what I mean?
Yep. She would be up there as far as one of my Black Arrow candidates as well.
Oh, yeah, for MVP this year,
yeah. And of course, everybo's talking about Lily Jekyll. Lily. She has not been available because of commitments with the national team.
You're right about that. You're right.
She's in another tournament this weekend, so she won't be available again today.
However,
however, I'm looking to see who will be available as far as Detroit City goes. Kate Childers made a trip to Minnesota to check in with her squad.
Minnesota Golden Golfers college team.
Yep. So I'm thinking that she'll be back here tonight, and I think that's what the scuttlebutt is going around, that she'll be back in the lineup tonight for Detroit City, which will add more to that squad.
And there's about a deep bench, so they could choose anybody. So as always, like I said, when the starting lineup happened, it happened a hour before the match. So.
I was told, though.
Oh, you were told?
I was told by during a certain podcast by a certain member of that crew that he's concerned about the depth of the squad and the rotation, all that stuff. You got to bring your best people out there, especially if you're going to make a championship run like this.
Oh, yeah.
I understand there's going to be players, and we had that last year during the run to the national semifinal, where we lost players because of college commitments and whatnot stuff. It's the fact that this coaching staff is priming these players, getting them ready for action should they be called upon.
Yes.
And I'm not too worried. We got 40. We've got 40
players. Yeah.
We got 40 players.
We have a hot goaltender who's picking up the slack.
Absolutely. I don't think she's. I don't think we'll lose her to college commitments to Central Michigan.
No, and she, like I said, she picked up the set since Gabby Shriver has been on maternity leave.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll lose that because I don't know. I'm not sure when they would have to go back for Central Michigan or whatnot. But I can understand like Sophia Romine and the Childers sisters and all that stuff, having to go back as well. But it'd be nice. It'd be a nice luxury to have going into those playoffs.
It kind of reminded me the year we went to the national semifinals during the NPSL day. The team that beat us, you know what I mean? They went to the national final, Odessa, but they were the one part. Most of the players who were college kids had to go back. This was back in August before the men's season started. So, and it could be,
It's a let's say it's a burden. Let's just say that it is a burden, especially when you're playing college kids in the short spring seasons and all that stuff. So it's been that, and it's also been that way with the Open Cup, especially with the these amateur sides, these semi-pro sides going in there. They have to bring in the best talent that they can have available. And you see all these ringers coming in for like these lower league sides and whatnot.
Well, the ringers were formed by Montgomery Burns.
I would say by the individual clubs themselves. I think we've seen Union Omaha. Anyway, shout out Batalo Faz for making it onto that squad. He played 90.
Okay.
He did. He's
quack quack.
Yes, he's back in the lineup there. He played the full 90 minutes in his match last week. But shout out there. But as I mentioned, Union Omaha, they would bring like ringers in there because most of these players, it was they were back when they were an amateur side, they would bring like amateur players in there to focus on the Open Cup. Now they're a professional side, that's a different story.
That's a different story. As long as they don't drink a special tonic by Mr. Burns. Remember that episode? We're still still trying to find out these that.
Did it have anything? Did it have anything to do with the Springfield Isotopes staging an all-star lineup?
I don't know.
No. Oh, it was the company softball team. I get that, but
Classic episode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Exactly.
I think it's in the Baseball and Hall of Fame. They have to have that episode in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I would think so.
I know.
If not, it's on Disney Plus.
But beware, Mr. Burns, for God's sakes.
Yes, absolutely.
I know. Okay.
Anyway, but like I said, big match, 7 o'clock. The game will be on CBSDetroit.com.
And NBC Sports Engine has play as well.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, both those outlets for that contest tonight. Last night, there's a bunch of games that had some ramifications.
Big time ramification on this game tonight.
On the USL Championship. Let's take a look at a few of those and then a little Pride Raiser update at the end while we go around the...
Passing here from Lexington. Cut back as it slipped forward, put in front and turned in. It's an own goal. Lexington grab a second. They've been knocking.
We'll get confirmation.
Set in, loose, goal! It's 3-0. Hartford Athletic. And it's Kyle Edwards with a brace. For the corner kick from this side. Again to the near post, and Sundstrom does it again. Actually, it's Luckhurst. Another set piece, another goal for North Carolina, and Adam Luckhurst.
The current Pride Raiser total is 6 goals for a dollar amount of $8,266 going to the Ruth Ellis Center in Highland Park and in Detroit. Scan the QR codes at the top of the screen to make your pledge or your one-time donation. For more information, go to ngs.prideraiser.org.
1382.69 pledged per goal thus far in that Pride Raiser. Of course, as I mentioned, you can find out more at ngs.prideraiser.org. Let's talk.
It could score per goal or a one-time donation. That's
We need the goal. We need the goals, though.
We need some goals that the British England manager would take. We need some goals.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to raise some goals tonight between the women's game and the men's game, and we just saw highlights from Arise Day. And hey,
wild night,
crazy night. The top 3 teams lost their games, and now
North Carolina being the one that ended up winning a game, and they beat topside Louisville City down in
Charleston lost on Wednesday night against Miami, of all places. The team we're about to talk to.
Yep.
And Loudoun got blown out last
3-0 to Hartford.
What the hell?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
They weren't the Loudoun team we faced last week. That's for dang sure.
What the hell? Was there a special tonic by Mr. Burns as well?
Yeah, you did mention Miami coming in here with the victory over Charleston the other night over at Pitbull Stadium. And 1-0 victory there.
Yes.
And this Miami side.
Oh my. They're not the same Miami side we faced on in game 1.
In fact, they're 1 point behind us now in 6th place.
Oh my God!
In the Eastern Conference right now.
They have won 5 games since we last. They're 5-1-5 since we faced on them. And holy shit! I thought they sucked.
Not so much this year. New coaching staff. A couple of other. Bonfiglio's been tearing it up for them.
Yeah.
Bonfiglio got, shall we say, let go from the first match of the year, the 2-0 win in which Detroit City defeated.
After that little spike to Michael Bryant.
Yes, he did.
Got a red card. He missed the last game.
Was it a second or was it a straight?
I think it was second yellow.
Second yellow that night. Yeah. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, needless to say, it was a like I said, dumb move. But Bonfiglio has been the catalyst, the goal scorer for
7
those guys.
goals. Holy shit.
7 goals so far this year, as for
Wow.
for Miami FC, and that back four, they have been keeping them in games.
Oh, yes.
For and keeping them competitive, which is something you don't see out of that Miami squad. Yes, veteran squad.
You're right.
However, these guys are out there and they're playing for it. I mean, a lot. We spoke of No Sereno being let go of Las Vegas. No Sereno was there last year.
He was last year, and he only met the 1 goal before they let go before the end of the season ended with the Las Vegas after that. Coaching Carol Dell. He didn't survive 16 games, for God's sakes.
You think it's a little bit of who's managing the team than it was the players that are out there?
I will say this again. Maybe. Who's managing a team? Remember the 0-16 season when who was that?
Rod Marinelli.
Rob Marinelli. You could.
I never thought he was a good coach to begin with.
He was a good coach to begin with, and he not good NHL coach. He's been already defense coordinator. He came in and the wheel fall off.
Marty Morningwave being another prime example of that.
Prime example. Maybe they were not good NFL coach, just like the Miami coach.
I know who was a good coordinator. That's a very good NFL coach.
Who?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
I think he was a tight ends coach, and the next thing you know,
coach.
I think he was a tight ends coach, and the next thing you know, he's,
all of a sudden,
all of a sudden he's had the best record in football in the last 3 years.
I know.
So
let's get back to soccer.
Let's get back to the other football.
Yeah.
But needless to say, it's going to be a tough task for especially a team that's been struggling.
You're
56 days since they have won a match.
Oh, my God. Yes,
56 days.
And we saw some signs of light last week against Loudon.
Absolutely. Some signs of life there.
Yes.
Prior to that, the game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Probably the low point of the season.
Oh, yeah. The big
but
low
you could see, you could see the regression from that match.
Yeah.
Giving up 2 goals against Indy 11.
Yeah.
That blowout in Chicago during the Open Cup. The 4 goals they gave up in Portland, all on defensive mistakes. And then you find defensive mistake after defensive mistake or midfield mistake after midfield mistake. This team has got to – today is a character – time to get your character. Time to pull up the big boy pants. Time to pull up the big boy pants and say, you know what? Show some effort.
Show some grit. Yes, you're in a home crowd. You know what I mean? The last time we were here, we were disappointed when Cal Jennings, who lead the goal in the USLC, ran lapped over us.
Absolutely. That was the last time we were here.
Yeah, you're right.
And Grant Neil Rule, I had a conversation via with him on Facebook last week about it, and he's one of those ones that's not worried about it.
Okay.
I mean, he kind of, let's just say he talked me off the ledge a little bit as far as this club goes.
He's not pushing the panic button.
No, absolutely not, because 3 of those losses have occurred against Louisville, Loudoun, and Charleston. The top 3 in the Eastern Conference right now. 2 of those being on the road, the Louisville loss and the Loudoun loss.
Yes. And this week, all 3, the top team lost, literally.
So anything can happen, especially in the summertime. It's a long season, grant you. We're going all the way to the end of October.
Yes, you're right.
So it's a long season. Time to make it up. Time is running out to make those points up.
This is game 14. We're almost at game 15, which will be 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to Hartford for a JG Cup game. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that later. But you have to gain some point because Louisville lost. Charleston, who's playing tonight, lost in midweek. Loudoun got laughed at by Hartford. You have to gain 3 points if you want to.
You have to gain 3 points, or else Miami is going to jump you.
Oh my God!
That is how close that standing is. Miami is 1 point behind Detroit City right now.
And remember what I said about the Peloton, and since we're close to Georgia fan season, all the team that we thought we could blue bats behind, they have now caught up.
Yep.
They want to either show that they are worthy for playoff contention or home playoff contention. Who knows?
Absolutely. And I could say the top 3 is breaking themselves off a little bit.
Yeah.
However, with that North Carolina victory last night, I might digress on that. They're starting to firm their place in the top 4.
Oh my.
But then again, everybody comes. Everybody's going to, have their struggles down the road. Right now, we're having a struggle of our own. We had a struggle of our own last year, and we did seem to do pretty good.
You're right.
Finished up and went into the playoffs.
So this game is a make or break tonight.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I would absolutely say
since
so.
You're almost at the halfway season in 2 weeks. Oh my! You have to get all 3 max points to show you're serious.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And whatever turmoil might be had in the locker room and all that may have been addressed a couple weeks ago in Pittsburgh or whatnot.
Okay.
What you got to throw everything out the door and play 90 minutes of soccer and get those 3 points. You've got to be, the defense has got to find a way to solidify themselves. We've lost our way as far as the defense goes in the last 56 days. We've lost our way as far as that defense goes. And maybe even before that. I mean, it took a 3-2 comeback, or it took a 3-goal comeback to win in Phoenix.
Yes.
If you may remember.
I remember really well.
Yeah.
It
took a 3-goal comeback.
video.
Yeah, it took a 3-goal comeback. Stop giving up the goals.
All right.
You've got to be more solid defensively.
You're right.
You gotta and you gotta score those goals. You gotta see, nice to see Ben Morris on the score sheet last week. Nice to see Michael Bryan on the score sheet. We got to get Darren Smith back on the score sheet as well. We need to see Jordan Adebayo Smith score a goal. We need to see Jasil Daniel score. We need to see Sebastian Guanzati score
You're right.
a goal.
He scored in the Jakey Cup.
He scored against Portland.
Yeah, you're right.
And Darren Smith hasn't scored against
No,
Portland.
he hasn't scored in about
Portland.
the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. So
ever since that U.S. Open Cup match.
Yeah, and he got the goal. He got a goal in Portland as well. So I mean, you need to get some. You need to get some offensive attack. You need to reestablish your defensive prowess. I'm not calling for he switched it up at goaltender last week. He put Carlos Saldana in there instead of Carlos Herrera, who's been struggling. You got to get some consistency going and try to reestablish yourselves.
Yeah.
As far as what you are, and if you want to be a top 4 side in this team. I'm not worried about Charleston. I'm not worried about Louisville. No. I'm worried about them when they come. I'm worried about Louisville when they come here and when we go down to Charleston at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about Loudoun until they come here. We got to take care of ourselves before that.
We're going to have to get 3 points here. Usually at the start of the when I saw the schedule, I said 6 points. But Tampa Bay have fallen out so much.
Yeah, and here's the deal here. The rest of the season here is very home heavy.
Yes.
The second half of the season is very home heavy. If you want to get those supporters engaged, you want to get them singing for you, you want to get them supporting you, go out there and provide your best effort, or else you're going to end up having an apathetic fan base, which is always the worst scenario.
And if you've been reading the Faithful of Detroit City page, oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, the natives are always
the apathy's starting to the anger's coming in. The anger's there. You like to see anger. Yeah. You don't want it to see it turn into apathy.
I know. It reminded me of the Detroit Lions season before Dan Campbell.
And it reminded me of a lot of things. Even some of the even all 4 of the major Detroit states, Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, you have that apathetic fan base. Now, if they're winning again, the bandwagoners are starting to come back out in the woodwork. You see that with the Pistons. You're seeing that with the Tigers. Obviously, you see that with the Lions.
You see the Tigers have the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all translates to play on the field. Whether you want to make your fan base apathetic or not, that is on you.
I know.
So,
all right.
But on us is the picks, obviously. Yes. And right now,
Wednesday was easy.
Wednesday was a little easy. I caught up to you after Loudon.
Yes,
a little bit. Yeah. I'm still way behind, though.
Okay.
I'm still way behind, though.
All right.
Today, though, big 3 points.
Here,
Miami comes in after a big win against Charleston. They're on a hot streak.
Oh yeah.
How do you see it?
I think 2-1 City. It's going to be a tight game. But hey, you're playing in your home crowd, and after all weeks of oh my God craziness and all that, you have to win. I'm going to say it.
You need the 3 points.
Oh, yeah.
You need the 3 points. A draw keeps you ahead of them.
Yes.
And right now, I'm going to still stand firm on this until you show me something. I'm going to be maybe a little bit negative about you until then.
Oh my.
You need the 3 points, yes.
Yes.
However, I see it as a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna stick with that.
All right.
because Miami is not your Miami team that was last year or previous seasons
Or
before
the
that.
first game of the season.
Exactly. Or they are not the same Miami team.
No.
Needless to say, I'm gonna stick with 1-1.
Okay.
And until I see something otherwise, that's how I'm gonna feel going forward. So I mean, we shall see what we shall see. And that's coming up. That's a 4:00 game. Where can we see it?
The 4 o'clock game, you can see the game on WKBD, CW Detroit 50 over the glorious airwaves. You could watch the game online on your computer browser at CBS Detroit. Just go to the sports section, click watch live. You're there. You can also see it on the CBS News app. All
It-
have to go local, then pick CBS Detroit, not CBS Minnesota, CBS Pittsburgh, or CBS Miami. CBS Detroit. Yeah.
As far as the other streaming platform, ESPN Plus. And how can they see these games? How can they see this game in Espanol?
Oh, Tunde Ende, Telemundo Sport Network, and Español.
Yes, the Spanish language game of the week.
But don't forget, we forgot to prepare for the females. You wanted to do that?
Oh, we already did that.
Oh, we did.
We
Okay.
did that earlier, so
Okay.
we don't have to do that. We have to worry.
I'm gonna say 2-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't do a prediction.
No, yes.
The big one. The
Okay.
big one.
Okay.
The big one. You said 2-0.
2-0 at City. I think Allison Ray will be on her toes tonight. Yeah.
This team wants it.
Yeah. You're right.
They want it.
You're right.
They've been wanting it since last year against Colorado, losing to Colorado Storm. They've been wanting it since the first game against AFC Ann Arbor at Holloway Field.
Yes. Right.
Disappointing result then. They've been on fire since then.
I think they're on fire today. 2-0
Absolutely.
City.
3-0.
Okay.
3-0 City.
And you can see that game also on CBS Detroit. Watch live.
Yep.
And on Sports Engine Play.
Absolutely.
On Friday.
Friday. This guy's going to be with me after the
men's game because I have another engagement tonight for the women's game. I'll be watching it on the web.
Absolutely. He'll join me for post-match analysis of the game against
Miami. That's part
and
one.
of course, we hope to get interviews and whatnot for the game against AFC Ann Arbor following the match as well. I think we are done. We are done.
Okay. We beat the band who's on our side, by the way.
And we will talk to you after hours. Until then, folks, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.